All right, hey everyone, welcome to another Guild Ball with the Guilds of the North matchup.
Geeks of the North.
Well, we're both.
Yeah.
We are Guilds of the North and we're Geeks of the North. We are the Alpha and the Omega. So yeah, this is actually my second game against Steve, and this was filmed a few weeks back. So you'll be seeing us use some Guild Plot cards, Guild Identity cards, I should say. And this was the second iteration of those cards, so not the final versions. Though I don't think my card changed. I'm not sure if yours did, Steve.
No, not yet. They're gonna change in the final stage at the end of the month.
Yeah, if they change.
If they change.
Yeah. So here we go. We're doing our Guild Plot cards. Steve picks the stack that's obviously stacked in his favor.
Of course I am.
Of course, I'm the one that dealt the cards, but he cleverly placed the deck before he handed it to me, I'm sure.
And you were playing with Fisherman again, and I was still using my Hunters. Yeah.
Though, I hate to give things away, but I don't know if playing my Fisherman was actually the way to describe it. More like I stood there and got pounded to goo. But that's okay.
Well, you were trying new stuff, so
yeah, this was a whole new lineup for me. I had never played Corsair before, or Hag, or Jack, but anyway, there was a lot of. I don't want to give away the whole lineup, but yeah, there was some kind of as we'd say in War Machine, scornergy going on in my lineup. Things didn't quite work out well, and there was a lot of what does this model do? But it's okay. It was a fun game. Always interesting to play different models and see kind of how they interact with each other.
Yeah, but the process usually is you change one player from your usual lineup to see how it works. But in your case, you change several players from your usual lineup.
I don't believe in half measures, Steve.
Well, actually, you do because you change half your team.
Yeah, so here we got some Guild Plot cards, but they were so poorly presented that no one could read them. And here are Steve's. Brace for Impact.
Wingback and Heroic Lending.
Yeah, and so then I try again, and I have Superfan, Good Marker, and Match Fixing.
There you go, closer to the camera.
Yeah, and actually in focus, and
kind of
course, that's the problem, because you're the only one that can see the camera, so I have no idea what I'm doing, right?
But I wasn't looking, because that would be cheating, and we both know that only you cheat at this game, Paul.
Yeah, but I cheat badly at it, so it doesn't really count, because you see it happen every time. Is that really cheating at that point, when you know what's happening? I don't know.
Here we are choosing our captain and mascot. So I went for Tehran and Fahad.
And I went for Corsair and Salt, which makes absolutely no sense, but that's okay.
And for Guild Identity, I went for Winter Training, which gives me 2-inch more movement when I'm in rough ground.
And I went for Pay to Win, which, as you will see, only helps you if you actually can shoot on net.
And if you have momentum as well.
And if you have momentum, yeah. There's
both of those you didn't really accomplish during the game.
Nope. And here's our starting roll.
Again, a tie. Because I always get a tie on the first roll on when we stream.
And then you lose on the second roll. That's how it usually works. So I chose to receive the ball, because, fish. And then we're picking our lineup here.
Yeah.
So I pick Grayscales, Vet Siren, Hag, and Jack.
I go for J-Car, Zarola, Egret, and I think it's Original Urn. Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. As you can tell by the giant picture of him on the side of your screen right now.
Exactly.
There's a visual reminder, Steve. Okay, so some token sorting going on here. Not very interesting. I'm gonna watch the screen carefully, see where Steve cheats. I gotta learn from the master.
Yeah, but I don't cheat. Tehran is the kicker here.
Yeah.
You play a tight lineup.
It's almost like I know you're gonna kick to that side of the field, like you have a certain habit of doing.
And I moved, and then I tried to do a kind of jerk kick, and where you have only Grayscale on that side. So trying just to make him work hard for the ball. And with a reroll, I managed to get quite a good kick near the line.
And there's that piece of terrain obstructing my movement, so...
Yeah, there's a obstacle there.
Yeah.
And there we see the how everything is. So the patch is the rough ground. We have fast ground on the left, and the rest are all obstacles for the terrain.
Yeah. This probably won't make it into the final edit, but I'm just going to point out that Steve doesn't know how to spell rough.
Oh, I'll change it. Wow.
His rot ground.
Thanks for noticing, Paul. Actually, I'll leave it there because it's there.
Apparently you need to have liquid English when you're writing stuff too, Steve.
Yeah, there's no autocorrect in Illustrator. So for there you go. You move the old man trying to retrieve the ball, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. So I do where did they go? And I grab that ball. And then I'm feeling cocky. So I will blind kick it back towards my lineup because stuff.
Well, because it would have been easy to run as well, or if I had to get it back.
You're going to victimize me. Yeah, exactly. So 5 and a 6, and it kind of scatters towards my line, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I watched this part of the video, so yeah.
It's right behind you.
Yeah, and then I throw up Decoy with my last influence.
So I go with Tehran and place my forest just neatly 4 inches of urn so we can teleport later on. And then ease load up with influence. I'm able to walk a lot because of the fast ground. The rough ground, which kind of become fast ground because he's light-footed.
Because you're full of cheating. Yep.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what that camera hiccup was there. So.
Not too
I blame
sure.
the cameraman. Yeah.
So he was with 6 influence, so fully load up, and I move, so I'm 8 inches ready to fire some shot. So I send strike myself, and I pin Vet Siren, which miss, sadly. And then I try to snipe Corsair, which succeed. And I get 1 momentum because of that. And he's snared. And then I use that momentum to do Blessing of the Sunfather on myself to snipe Hag. And using that, I can bypass the fear because I don't pay the influence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not cheating, but it's a little trickery I've learned while playing my Mortician because people are evading the fear on gas. So I'm using what people used to do on me, on you.
Look at you learning all your stuff. All right, so I decide at this point to activate a Veteran Siren.
Which you remember the Shadow Light?
Yep. And then I pick up the ball and decide to kick it over to the Hag. So she hasn't actually moved yet. I just teleported using the... or dodged, I guess, using the Shadow Leg.
Yeah.
I kick it, and for once I actually succeed at kicking a ball to a player. And then I move up the field. Camping out next to the rough ground.
Just next to it. Then I think we discuss about the pin. What does it do to Corsair? And then I use Egret. She just moves up the field, stay in cover, kind of safe. And you have the Ag who's doing Shadow-like as well. She has
she uses Fishman's Reel to move up Corsair.
Yeah. Did you pass Corsair at that point, or?
No.
Okay.
No, I think I'm looking at this, and I don't know what... I guess I just held on to the ball sitting there like an idiot. Yeah, I think I killed the ball on myself there. That happens. I do that often. You'll see the next time we play.
Fahad, we saw Fahad charging into the fast ground just to move up the field, and you do the same with
Jack. Yeah, Jack just runs on up, and then he'll use get over here Salt to pull Salt up.
And then it's my turn. I go with
Yep.
original Earn, who will do
Classic Hearn.
classic Earn. He do Blessing of the Sunfather on Zarola, then teleports in the forest, and then he's able to walk to Corsair, and he can walk 6 inches because of the winter's training, and so he walks 6 inches with his 2-inch melee. I buy an attack on Corsair. I get a momentous singled out on him. So he's snared and singled out. Things are not looking good for Corsair, but he's tough, so he's okay.
Yeah, that's one good thing. Corsair is at taking damage. It's then my turn. Corsair hits Hearn back
And
knocks him down.
yeah, with a counter attack.
Yep.
Then I use my momentum to get out, and I attacked again. And this time I'm able to do a skewered, and I do 3 damage on Jack, and I snared him as well. So everybody is starting to be snared. Buy another attack on Corsair and do a momentous double push to get him out of the way. And then that's it.
Then I activate Corsair and I decide that I'm going to move back up into melee, and I'm going to attack Hearn. Because, what else am I going to do? It's not like I can walk very far. I'm kind of snared and everything else on me. That's so annoying about your team. So I walk up here, and then I'm going to buy my first attack, and I'm going to knock down Hearn.
Yeah, there's no point of using counterattack because knockdown is so low on him.
And then I do a damage.
But
and
you roll lots of blank on the last roll.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do 1 damage, then I do 2 momentous damage and a push, and then I try to pass the ball. There's that push I just mentioned. And here's me thinking lots.
Oh, passing the ball to Saul.
There goes the pass, and I flub it, because that's what I do.
Well, he has a wooden leg, so it's not that good to shoot.
I suppose.
It scatters, and Jack is able to pick it up.
Exactly.
And then after that, I go with J-Car, who will charge Jack. I'm going to charge in base contact in case you do a sneaky counterattack or something like that. And I'm able to do 2 damage and a momentous double dodge and a tackle from the wrap.
Of course.
Well, because you were 2-0 to J-Car because of anatomical precision and the charge. Then I drop the trap next to Salt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I attack Jack again. I do another 2 damage, but this time with a momentous push dodge. Looking if I can dodge into Salt or do pinball machine and dodge onto another player. And there I'm able to attack Salt. And I'm do 2 damage and a momentous dodge. And after that, I'm able to do my 4-inch dodge with back to the shadow. And I go back on the fast ground, rough ground, which is fast ground for me.
Yep. And then Salt is up, that little varmint. He decides to get in some beatings on Hearn.
Like every good otter
should.
He triggers the trap, so he's
absolutely
now snared and bleeding.
But look at that. Look at that glorious roll. So I proc a momentous, where did he go? For no apparent reason.
Well, you generated momentum, but...
Yeah.
And he's back near Jack. Did you clear the condition, or...? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I cleared the conditions. Yeah, so my 4th momentum went back down to 3.
Then Zarola moves, and she does Midnight Offering on J-Car.
Mm-hmm.
And then we measure, and I'm able to move 9 inches because of the fast ground. And I move like out of Vet Siren, not to get a parting blow and get the ball tackle back from me. And I move into cover. And that's the end of the turn, and I win the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
I decide to take the first turn. Here we can see where the players are and where the ball is as well. So J-Car has the ball. I put 4 influence on J-Car, 3 on Terran, actually 5 on Terran, 2 on Ygritte, 2 on Earn, 0 on Zarola, and 0 on Fahad.
So I'm here placing influence, but I'm very indecisive about it. So at the moment I've got 2 on Hag and 4 on Corsair. Looks like 3 on Vet Siren. Corsair gets a couple extra to go up to 6. And then
Salt gets 2 for no
Salt
reason.
gets 2 and Jack gets none. No, there's a reason. I think it's because I wanted to have Salt steal the ball.
Yeah, probably. So I start with J-Car. He's gonna move up and attack Ag, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
Move in base contact with her. I spend 1 more influence because of fear.
That's right.
So we check of the assist and everything. Attack the Ag, and I manage to do 2 momentous damage and a double dodge.
Yep. I actually bought a counterattack.
Oh, with your momentum from not starting the turn.
That's right.
And I double dodge to be engaged by Corsair and the Ag, and the Ag does 4 hit. Kind of good roll.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a lot in the way of offensive capability, so I proc Fisher's Reel, and then I use it to move Corsair. So I'm trying to kind of block your ball path, make you work for it a bit more.
Place my trap, because you must always place a trap. And then I buy an attack on Corsair, and you don't have momentum to counterattack, so I take advantage of that. I'm able to do 2 damage and a double dodge again. And with my last influence, I use bonus time, and I shoot on goal for 2 dice because I'm engaged, and I was at 3+, so I'm able to score.
Yep, because you got to tap in.
Yeah, and I dodge back to the shadow into the cover, and it's 4-0 for the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the cunning plan, Paul. See? Salt had influence, and you throw back the ball at him. It was all part of your plan.
Yep, so that basically goes right to him, and I snap to him.
Exactly, so you're more cunning than you leave it to. It was all part of the evil plan.
Then I pretend to be.
Yeah,
exactly.
All part of the evil plan.
I'm thinking turns ahead.
Exactly.
Because it literally takes me turns to do anything with Salt, but it's...
And there goes Salt.
Yep.
Speaking of the little bugger.
Yep. I get so enamored with the idea of doing stuff with Salt that I forget certain things, like game mechanics.
I think you just get over carried and trying to.
I get carried away. I'm just so busy. Like, I was so happy that Salt had the ball. Yeah. So you're gonna see me measure this all out, and I do all kinds of planning. Which way am I gonna go? How do I avoid the charges and stuff? Now, I realize at this point that I have no momentum, but that doesn't seem to stop me. I'm gonna run with that ball, and then I'm gonna sit there and kill it on my own player because I have nothing I can do with it.
Well, that's the thing. You forgot you had no momentum, because else it would have been a good plan, because you had enough to like dodge or move where they go, dodge out of my melee zone, and you would have been able to easily score.
Yeah, no, I knew I had no momentum. I'm not really sure what I was thinking at this point. We got started a bit late, so I think my brain might have been in neutral.
Well, that one wasn't that late. The next one we'll do is late, and I made lots of mistake on that. The next game will do. This one isn't too bad.
Did I win that other game?
Yeah. What? We won't learn that.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
So look, like I spent so much time this measuring. This is 300% speed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's 5 minutes of me measuring at 300%. It's ridiculous. I burned my whole clock, and now I'm parked next to the goal with nothing to do. I don't even know. I'm embarrassed to see that play.
I check if I can reach him with Fahad. Unfortunately, I cannot. So,
which after all the measuring we did, I hope I measured it right.
Exactly. Well, actually, you did. And then I go with Tehran, who moves next to the Ag, because you've used the Fear already, so I place him just out of the Vet Siren range and into contact with the Ag. I'm do a momentous knockdown. So she's down to 2 defense, so quite vulnerable. I do momentous 2 damage with that attack. By another attack, I'm able to do momentous 3 damage. Another attack at her. I'm really beating her to death. That's not
literally.
And then I do non-momentous 4 damage. And realizing that she's down to 2 health.
Yep. Exactly.
And then I do Blessing of the Sunfather on myself. And
I sense a trend. Yep.
Yeah. Take her out with a bow shot.
Yeah. Arrow to the knee.
Yeah. So it's, well, actually it's snipe now. It was arrow to the knee. So it's 6-0 to the Hunters.
I was actually making a pun. I forgot that was actually called that before.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Well, Corsair is angry and trying.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's my turn to try to beat down someone.
Yeah, with 6 influence on a 2-1 model, it should be quite easy.
Yeah. So that first attack, I pull a 2 damage and a momentous push, and then whoops, a
2 damage.
I got 2 damage in my notes, but I pushed him into cover.
Yeah,
which makes it completely not smart. So then I get a 2 damage on my next roll, and then I get a 2 damage. No, it is 2 damage. Momentous push. And I push him back out of cover. So I get an extra die for the next one. And then I do 3 damage and a push. And then 2 damage and a push. And then finally, another 2 damage and a push.
So Ern is down
to
really,
4, I think, at this point.
He's in really bad shape.
Yeah.
So I go with Zarola, trying to save him.
I look at Salt sitting there all by himself. I'm still like shaking my head.
Well, you can see the big blue ball next to him. He's there. Yeah. I couldn't do anything. Now I try to measure stuff and see if I can do anything constructive and meaningful, but no, not really. So I just go and move up and engage Jack. Mm-hmm. Then I do a link activation though to charge.
I learned about that game. Yep.
To charge with Fahad. So since he's engaged, he's able to get another attack and you're snared. So I get my bonus damage. Die. But I roll really bad and I only get, I got 4, but that's not too bad. I'm able to pull 2 damage momentous and a dodge and just a 1 damage more with the wrap. So that's not too bad. That's 3 damage, but managed to get 3 momentum.
So at this point, oddly enough, I've decided that I need to try to build momentum to make sure I can go first so Salt can actually do something next turn. So even though Hearn's on 4 health, I decide to start rolling and I proc Dread Gaze.
Yeah.
Momentous, which does no damage.
Which wasn't
useful because everyone's already activated at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then I do a second attack. Here in a second here. And then I basically do momentous push dodge. And then I use that momentum to remove the conditions that are on her.
And you don't kill Ern.
And I don't kill her. I do no damage while leaving him at 4 health.
So Ern tried to do something before dying. He attacks Corsair. He does a momentous single out. He doesn't have much dice because of the because he's engaged and everything, and you're 3-1, so I'm only getting one success and doing a momentous singled out on that, and then I buy another attack, and I'm able to do a momentous 2 damage, which goes down to 1 because of the tough fight, and then I do a Blessing of the Sunfather on myself, and attempt to skewered Vet Siren, but I'm unable to do it because I was only down to 1 dice. So unfortunately, I didn't do damage to her. There's Grayscale moving.
Yep, and that's all I do with him. In fact, I missed that in my notes because the activation was so quick.
And here I have Egret, who charges, because if not, I wasn't in range. And I was at 9 dice because of the assist and the charge and everything. So I was able to wrap. I got 2 momentous, 2 damage, which becomes 1 damage, and a momentous push dodge. So I was able to put poison on him and then do a back to the shadow. But more importantly, I was able to generate momentum to try to win the initiative.
Yep. And I think at that point you tried to, you thought the turn was over.
Yeah, but we went back because you had Jack.
Yep. And he realizes he's pretty badly outnumbered at this point.
And snare and poison.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not doing much of anything, and he has nothing on him in terms of influence. So I can't buy attacks, I can't do anything. So I think I'd forgotten that I needed to win initiative.
Yeah,
so I guess, because I actually spend a couple momentum. For one, I use his heroic play, and I push everyone the 4 inches away.
There, I remind you, it's directly away, so you push her back and then back into Egret, and then Fahad is directly away in the just before the fast ground for me.
Yeah, exactly. And then, being unobstructed now, I clear my conditions, and then I move up, thinking maybe I can give Salt some support.
And we see Salt is at the bottom near the goal, and I have +2 for the dice roll for the initiative. And we tie it, and then I get it.
Yeah, if I hadn't done that stuff with Jack, we would have tied again. No, I would have won. I would have won 4-3. You would have won. Yep.
And here I'm measuring
silly things we do.
The 2 inches of Jack. So I put 2 on Zarola, 2 on Fahad, 6 on Tehran, and 2 on 3 on Jakar, none on Ern, and on Egret as well.
Yeah, man, do we have to rewatch these games? Because this is making me feel dumber and dumber the more I...
Well, it's part of the learning process, I guess, Paul.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you won't do the same mistakes again.
Oh, the sad thing is I probably will. In fact, I think I tried to do the same thing again with Salt when I played last weekend against Antoine. And
well, it's because you didn't watch the game beforehand, that's why.
I think I just can't play with Salt. I'm not allowed.
So there I go for shenanigans. I move Zarola. I do a midnight...
I'm so... Sorry, go ahead. You do a midnight offering.
So he's close. So Fahad is closer to Salt. And then I charged Salt with my free charge. Then I think you didn't do a counterattack or anything.
No.
I tackle the ball. And then I'm able to do another attack. I dodge out. And I do a nimble on myself.
Yeah, so now your defense is up to 6.
Yeah.
And I had that brilliant idea of putting Jack there to support Salt, but then it didn't give him any influence. So.
Well, he has 1.
Well, he has 1. Woohoo! Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't know why I put so much on Corsair so we could stand there and beat on the guy that was mostly dead, and Vet Siren. Anyway, we're going to not focus on that. Okay, so here I activate Jack, whose picture's in the middle of the screen.
Well, I'll need to move that.
Yeah, that overlay has a problem.
And Jack's attack Fahad, which is defensive.
Now, I'm on 6 dice, and I need a 6.
So one dice.
6. And I get none. This is a trend, folks. You'll see this again and again for the rest of this turn. Or at least one more time, anyway. So that ends Jack's move.
Then I go with Tehran, place the forest there in case Ern survive by some miracle or...
No miracles this game, Steve.
No, I know. And then I walk next to Corsair and start the beating. So I'm able to do a momentous push. And then I do a momentous double push. So he's out of my melee range. And I can attack Vet Siren. So I do a momentous 3 damage on her. And she's snared because of Tehran's ability.
Mm-hmm.
I buy another attack on her. And I'm able to do a momentous push. So I get her out of the cover. By 1 attack on her, I'm able to do momentous 3 damage. Again. And my last attack, which I did bonus time both of my 2 previous attack to do another momentous 3, which kills her, but she does a 3-inch push.
Yep.
I dodge, and then I use Blessing of the Sunfather on myself, and I bonus time it.
Big surprise.
I bonus time it to be sure I get it, and then I get a takeout on her because she was down to 1 point.
That's right.
And then Corsair is angry.
Yeah, comes in. He buys an attack, gets 3 damage. Momentous push and 3 damage. And then he buys a second attack and takes out Hearn with momentous 2 damage.
Exactly.
And now Corsair turns to Theron.
Switches attention.
Yeah. So I get a momentous knockdown.
We just move the token in there.
Yeah, exactly. And then a momentous 2 and a push. And then again with a momentous 2 and a push.
So you have a big pile of momentum this turn.
Yeah.
And then I go with JCar,
Mm-hmm.
who decides to move and attack Corsair. I go in base-to-base contact, almost, and I'm able to be at 1 inch of the goal, so I'll get the cover if you do a counterattack. I place the trap. And then I'm able to do a 2 damage and gut and string. So he's down to not too much of armor and defense. He's down to 2, actually. And I'm able to do a momentous 4 damage on him. And then I buy another attack. I do a non-momentous 3 damage and a push dodge. And I push you into the trap. And I dodge a bit further up. And then I spend 2 momentum to bring back Tehran up. In case, because there is still the Ag who can do stuff in that area. Grayscales tries to save the day, Paul?
Yeah, he tries. Doesn't quite work out his plan. So he weirdly goes and then walks up and buys an attack. Now he's on 7 dice because of loved creature.
Yeah.
And flubs it. Because I think I'm fishing for 2. So I get nothing. I get none, actually. So
Egret just moved down back the pitch. Then you have Ag who does
walks up a little bit. Yep.
And this is the state of the pitch. And I think you win the initiative, right?
Yes. Yes, I do. I win the initiative. And my brain came back a little bit because I realized salt was not the answer for this problem.
Well, did you? Yes, 3 influence, Paul.
I don't want to talk about it. Grayscales also has 3 influence, though.
Yeah. So I bring back Ern there. I put 6 on Tehran, 2 on JCar, 2 on Zarola, 1 on Ern, and 2 on Egret.
Yeah, and of course I've got my 6 on Corsair, and then everything else there on the field on Salt and on Grayscales. Actually, I appear to have 7 on Corsair. So I'm guessing 1 is on Hag and it got pushed over into that pile.
Probably.
Yeah. As we'll see, it doesn't really matter. All right, so I'm going to activate Grayscales first, and he's going to attack Fahad. And I'm going to get a bunch of hits for once, and I am going to tackle the ball.
By another attack.
Generate some momentum.
Yeah, to be able to shoot.
Yeah. And then...
You cannot bonus time because you don't have...
But I'm tapping in, and he's got 3 kicks, so... And I get a Screamer, so I get 2 momentum, and you do the kickback with the ball.
And here we see I forgot to clean the forest from the previous turn.
Yeah.
The ball scatter favorably for me.
Yes, indeed. You can also say I'm a slob because I left my dice all over the field in the middle of the pitch. It's like I forget we're streaming.
So I move with Tehran, and he sprints.
And he has a clear shot at the net.
Yeah. And actually, I sunstrike myself, snipe at Corsair to generate some momentum, and then I'm able to shoot at the goal bonus time and get the score in. So I was able to win 12-6 with 2 goals and 2 takeouts.
Yep. It was a sad day for the fisherman. I don't mind losing, except for when I lose to Steve. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was a good game. Watching it like this, these are actually, and I highly encourage anyone who can, get a little web camera, record your games. It's not hard, and then go back and watch them. You learn so much about what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right in that replay. Because in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking, you're stressed. There's a clock going,
and sometimes you're tunneling into a decision, and afterwards you see it's not right. It was not the right decision. But with the video, you can see why it was not the right decision at that time. No
matter how cute and cuddly your mascot is, relying on them to score goals and win the game for you is probably not a good plan.
But he has the biggest goal threat in the game, almost.
He has one of the longest goal threats. That's true. In a perfect world where he doesn't have to try to tackle the ball or do anything.
When he has the ball and he has momentum.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because, the whole, I'm going to steal the ball, run up the field, and do whatever with my 2 tack. It's not going to happen.
But getting the ball there was not that bad because I had to work a lot to get it back. I mean, I needed to burn a couple of activation, and you kind of bought a turn as well.
Yeah, I suppose. That's true. There wasn't much going on my end of the field. I really got so focused, I think, on trying to do takeouts because the whole concept was new to me as a Shark player. Like, I've never tried taking out players before. So Hag and Corsair didn't move up the whole game. They just stood there at my goal line, basically.
As we saw, he's on your goal line at the end of the game. He didn't really cross it. The only time he moved up was just a bit further near the cover, near the obstacle to beat down on Earn.
Yeah. And the other thing, I think I'm so used to playing Shark, or I was at that point, where I would hit someone and generate dodges to get out of melee. With Corsair, I didn't I could push, but it didn't occur to me I could push people out of my melee and then walk or run or do something afterward. Like, I got tunnel vision done just beating people down.
Well, actually, the push is good because you can push people into other of your players' melee zone, since most of them have 2-inch melee, and then you get more crowding out assists and then more beatdown result because his momentous 3 damage and a push is quite easy to get because it's only on 5 result, and he has attack of 6. He has access to a low knockdown, and with a couple of crowding out, he can wrap easily and get 4 damage.
Yeah, no, it's very, very attainable. Absolutely very attainable.
So I guess that's a wrap, Paul.
That's it. Thanks, Steve. And thanks to our listeners.
thanks to you for having this game and doing the recording with me. And I'm pretty sure we'll see each other soon for a rematch, I guess.
Yeah, well, we've already had the rematch.
I know, but I was just
the
teasing
rematch.
I was just teasing our viewers.
Oh, you tease you. All right. I'll talk to you soon, Steve.
Bye.